There was a village named Seychelles. In the interior parts of the village, there was a small place named Samuel Knoxshell. There were a very few children who would go out to play regularly. Some of the children were Ricky, Sam, Jack, Frederick, Marvin, Natalie, and I was one of them. My name is Triel Noctower, and I have a brother and a sister, and I have my parents who love me a lot. One day, when I was with my friends, Frederick and Natalie, busy talking to them, there was a sudden strong wind blowing across the park, and we found it weird because it took place only in that particular area on which we were playing. And all of a sudden, it stopped, and there was a huge oval mirror getting formed in front of us in a vertical position. It was a time space, was something that my sixth sense could feel. And after some time, some strange two people came through that oval mirror. They looked quite good, but were a little weirder to me. They came a little in front and said, "We want two kids to come with us to work as young film stars in the film industry, but not in this world. It is in a world whose trend is a little bit less than the real world." Then they forced me and and one of my friends, that was Natalie, to work with them in the film industry. We asked them whether we could inform about this to our parents, but they disapproved to our request and took us along with them. I was 15 years old, and Natalie too. When we reached there, we saw a huge crowd of people in the street. While passing through that street, I was really afraid and didn't know what to do. I was just thinking about my family, and I knew that Natalie was also very afraid. But what could I do? When we reached the film industry, we saw a film being shot in a film set that was prepared. Then the vehicle in which we were traveling stopped. From those strange people, 3 were men and 2 were women. The men were actually very good. They did not intend to hurt us, but those 2 women were really very critic-headed. But one was a bit aged. I felt that she was in her 50s, and the other woman should be in her 30s. The one who was in her 30s was not so cruel as the one who was in her 50s. Natalie and I slowly got adapted to that atmosphere and its nature, and we slowly started to forget about our own homes, our parents, and the whole family. When the days went on, I felt that their week took a lot of time to finish. So one day I asked some questions to one of the lady who used to come regularly in the film industry. I asked her, "Why is the day so long? Why does it take so much of time for the week to get over? When does the year end?" In this manner, I began cropping up questions for the poor lady who was trying to help me out, sort out my confusion, and help me reason out it. Then finally I stopped, and the lady spoke. She said, "I never find the day to be long, and it doesn't take much time for the week to get over, and the year ends on 31st of December each year." Then I remembered the sayings of the lady who was also along with the other strange people who came to my village. She had said that the world has a bit less strength than the real world, and that's the reason why I felt the days were too long and the weeks they took much time to get over. started getting answers to my questions. Natalie was sleeping in the room provided to us by the side people. I went to the lady when she was asleep. She was really very tired after the shoot which we had at yesterday night. But it was amazing. It was a heroic scene where we are sitting in a Ferrari and the hero trying to save us from the bad guys. I like it. It was a Sunday, so we didn't have a shoot today. That's the reason I got a chance to go out in the street and meet the lady. After meeting the lady, I returned to my room. Natalie had also woken up from her sleep. So then I and Natalie, we both had breakfast and then we were talking to each other about what we should do to get out of here. And then we left it after God because we couldn't think much about it. It had been almost 2 years now that we are here. And I said that to Natalie. I and Natalie both had turned 17 years old. And so our views and thinking was also getting slightly changed. We have to go for the shoot. Natalie, come on, wake up. I said this to Natalie. Okay, I am awake, said Natalie. And then we both went and sat in the car, and the driver took us to the place where the part of the film was to be shot. It was a narrow road which was besides a huge soccer court and the compound wall all around it. And when we reached, the driver stopped. There were two unknown women who looked to be around the age of group of 20 to 28 years old. One was a bit fat and the other one was quite slim. They greeted us, so we also greeted them back. Then those cruel women and the remaining strange people arrived. They shouldn't be called strange people. They should be called something like the gang of strange humans. I whispered this to Natalie in a soft voice, in her ear. We giggled a little, but then we got serious. The cruel lady, who was quite aged, said, "Okay, people, it's time to get ready for the shoot and obey my instructions. Natalie and Striel will be sitting in George's car, Lily and Samuela in Tony's car, and Trivian and Charles with Charlie. So get set, people, ready and go." Oh my god. It was so frightening along with excitement. It was a total chaos out there. You couldn't understand who is actually crying and who is screaming in joy. But I knew that I and Natalie both were screaming in joy, plus we were screaming in fear. And those two unknown women were behind us. They were screaming for no reason. And finally, they stopped. And the scene was over. So for the next scene, they wanted a nature scene. They felt that the real world has much more better scenic beauty than this world. So we packed our stuff and got ready to go to the real world. Then Natalie and I were called by one of the members of the film industry. So we went into the same huge oval mirror that was created. And this time, the time space we reached in our own real world. So when we reached, we were with those strange people and some other people also. Then they gave us a place to settle down and take rest for the next day. After that, I and Natalie settled down without informing anyone. We went out